Hi, my name's Caroline and I'm here to talk to you about child protection at Lighthouse. We're going to look at 4 key points: keeping safe, touch and contact with children, managing behaviour and abuse allegation. First, let's talk about keeping safe. Everything that will be said in this video is to protect you from possible allegation. You will also be able to find anything that is said and more in the Leader's Handbook. One of the most important points to remember is that at all times on the Lighthouse site, you must be wearing your Lighthouse t-shirt and badge. Please don't write, draw or cut your t-shirt and badges, as they are essential for knowing who does and doesn't have clearance to be on site. This also means that no adult without a red t-shirt and badge should be with the children. If you do see someone without a t-shirt and badge, politely challenge them and inform either Lighthouse security, the site manager or your age group leader. Another important point to remember is there cannot be any photography of children at all. I'm now going to talk about the do's and don'ts regarding conduct and touch with children. Here are the do's. Do treat all children and young people with respect and dignity. Do watch your own language, tone of voice and body language. Do record any concerning incidents to your age group leader, and do have 2 leaders on all toilet trips. Now for the don'ts. Don't invade a child's privacy whilst washing or toileting. Younger children may ask for help with their clothes, but if they can manage on their own, respect their independence. Don't be sexually suggestive about or to a young person, and don't ever be alone with a child or leave the shared areas of the Lighthouse site with a child. Now let's talk about touch. This can be really difficult, especially with younger children, as they tend to be very affectionate. We don't want to keep children at arm's length, but we also have to be sensitive and appropriate. Holding hands or a hand on the shoulder is often enough for children to feel you care. A couple of things to avoid are playing rough, physical or sexually provocative games, giving piggybacks, swinging children and letting them use you as a climbing frame. Accidents with leaders and children getting hurt is something we really want to avoid. Please also don't lay your hands on a child whilst praying or touch inappropriately or intrusively. These are the areas to completely avoid. Whilst these other areas may seem harmless, a slip of the hand could lead to an inappropriate place. So far, we've looked at keeping safe and your conduct as leaders with the children. Linked with this is managing behaviour. Unfortunately, not all the children that attend Lighthouse will behave perfectly, and some may become difficult to deal with. The overall aim is to encourage good behaviour through praise and rewards, for example, stickers. It's also really important to set clear and appropriate boundaries. For example, children may not hurt themselves, hurt others, or damage equipment and their surroundings. If a child does exhibit unacceptable behaviour, these are the steps that should be followed. Step 1. The Lighthouse keeper should talk to the child and explain why the behaviour must stop. This needs to be done as calmly as possible and without humiliation to the child. Step 2. If the child continues further, they should be temporarily separated from friends or whatever is encouraging the difficult behaviour. This could mean being moved to a different place within the group or next to a lamplighter or lighthouse keeper. Step 3. At this point, if the negative behaviour continues, the age group leader should get involved and reinforce what the lighthouse keeper has said. Step 4. The next step is for the child to be removed from the whole activity and to sit at the side and watch for a period of time. Step 5. Finally, they are to be given a warning that if their behaviour doesn't improve, they will be sent home from Lighthouse. If this warning is given, it is vital that the age group leader talks to the parent or carer at the end of the day to explain that if the unacceptable behaviour continues, the child will be sent home and will not be able to return to Lighthouse. This is the only way in which disruptive behaviour should be dealt with. The final topic I will run through is abuse allegation. This is hopefully something you won't have to deal with, but you need to know how, just in case. Abuse can be physical, sexual, emotional, or neglect. The allegation may come from a child or young person and may relate to abuse from a family member or someone outside the family in a position of trust. If a child or young person begins to tell you about abuse, it is vital you do the following. Never promise to keep it a secret and that you won't tell anyone. Listen carefully, but do not press for information. Reassure the child or young person that they have done the right thing by telling someone. Pass the information immediately to your age group leader. It is then the responsibility of the age group leaders to write up the information in the incident book as soon as possible, using the child's own words to describe the abuse. During Lighthouse, the age group leader must contact the site office. From this point on, the Child Protection Officer is responsible for any further action. It is so important to remember that what has been disclosed is confidential and should only be shared with others on a need-to-know basis. The first person to be told of the abuse may be asked to provide a statement for the police. After telling of abuse, a child or young person can be distressed, frightened, or worried about what will happen next. They should be reassured that they have done the right thing and should not be left on their own. This brings us to the end of our child protection training. The 4 main things to remember are how to keep safe, what is and isn't appropriate touch and conduct with children, how to manage behaviour, and how to deal with abuse allegations. Everything that has been said today can be found in the Leader's Handbook. Lighthouse is meant to be a fun and safe week for all the children and leaders who attend. By following these guidelines outlined above, we can ensure that this is the case. Thank you for listening and have a great week at Lighthouse.